that you talk too much. Time to go. Ba-ba-dum, ba-ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-da-ba-bum, ba-ba-dum. You've got those big blue eyes, drive me crazy, make me fantasize about you, baby. And you smell so sweet, like fresh picked daisies. Call me Dahmer, 'cause your heart's so tasty. Ba-ba-dum, ba-ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-da-ba-bum, ba-ba-dum. And I watched you break like glass you shattered. I said it's my mistake, I make things harder. So I tried my best to shut my mouth, but all the thoughts I hid dug their way out. Ba-ba-dum, ba-ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-da-ba-bum, ba-ba-dum. Said you can't trust me, I said it's fine, because I'm not happy till I tell a lie. Now my bedsheets smell like your cologne, and in our separate worlds we sleep alone. Ba-ba-dum, ba-ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-da-ba-dum, da-da-dum, ba-ba-da-ba-bum, ba-ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-da-ba-bum, ba-ba-dum.
Picture perfect, sugar sweet. Does she know you're calling me? Love so right, weak in the knees, but does she know? You say she's the one, all that's in your head, that you're so in love with your new girlfriend. But you hit me up every now and then. Oh, does she know? Stop calling every time you're down and need something. Oh, baby, you should try to call your new girlfriend. Months gone, never happier. Radio silence, I don't hear a word. All I want, you're just not sure. Oh, does she know? You say she's the one, all that's in your head, that you're so in love with your new girlfriend. But you hit me up every now and then. Oh, does she know? Stop calling every time you're down and need something. Oh, maybe you should try to call your new girlfriend. You say she's the one, all that's in your head, that you're so in love with your new girlfriend. But you hit me up every now and then. Oh, does she know?
You've got me saying words in my head, filling my mind with these images, yeah. And it's the way that you look at me, makes me feel like I can't breathe. It ain't right, right, right. It ain't right, right, right. It ain't right. Oh no, it ain't right, right, right. It ain't right, right, right. It ain't right. Oh no, you're calling my phone. I'm being patient, but I'm all alone. Staying faithful, and I'll never know when you're coming back around.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Proteas Women's post arrival press conference following the ICC Women's T20 World Cup 2024 in Dubai and Sharjah. At the top of the table, I'd like to just introduce the president, Mr. Rihan Richards, and on the other side we've got the CSA Director of Cricket, Mr. Enoch Nkwe. Then in the center we've got the individuals of the moment. In the middle there, the head coach, Dylan Dupree. Then on his right, we've got Proteas women spinner, Nonkululeko Mlaba. On Dylan's left, we've got Proteas women top order batter, Tasman Brits. I'd just like to also welcome the media. Thank you so much for attending and all the coverage that you provided us throughout this tournament. Also here on our right, we've got the Proteas women's squad and management, the individuals that obviously made all of this possible throughout the last 30 days, and then you include the Pakistan tour, make it 40 days. So it's been a long journey away from home, away from the country, but we felt the presence of everyone. So thank you so much. I would just like to kick us off with a speech from Mr. Rihan Richards to welcome us, and just before we get going with the panel discussion. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. Please allow me to extend a word of apologies for the Honourable Minister, who was set to join us but was called away at the last minute. But allow me to extend a special word of welcome to our lead independent director, Numisa. Welcome to this event, as well as to the CSA executive, the Proteas women management and team, our players, our partners, and the members of the media. It's a privilege to welcome home the management team and the selected players from their journey to the United Arab Emirates. Today we take the moment to reflect on the remarkable performance of the Proteas at the ICC T20 Women's World Cup in 2024. Achieving a second consecutive appearance in the Women's World Cup final is a milestone immensely significant in the global cricketing community. We stand behind the Protea cricketers as they continue to pursue excellence and to achieve the coveted spot in the future World Cups. I commend the dedication and resilience and outstanding efforts of every player, both on and off the field. As we strive towards the ultimate victory, let us take pride and celebrate the incredible accomplishments of the Proteas Women World Cup squad, as well as their journey, and we are looking to further successes going forward. I thank everybody here for their presence and their unwavering support. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Richards. Just to kick us off with the panel discussion before we move over to the Q&A from the media, we'll start off with the head coach, Mr. Dylan Dupree. Coachy, obviously just take us through the feelings of the team following a second consecutive final. Obviously, we hoped we would have won it, but just take us through your thoughts, initial thoughts of obviously reaching the final.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks, Lita, for that question. Yeah, looking back at the final, you could see the emotions was high afterwards. Everyone is still, I think, disappointed in the result. And I think we did speak about a lot of positives that came out of the World Cup and the Pakistan series. But I think two things for me is, one is back-to-back finals. There's consistency there, and I think that's crucial for us. The other thing is you look at the performances of some of the individuals. We got leading run scorers and wicket takers. There's strike rates, dot balls. There's a lot of stuff. So I think all in all, it's not a good feeling, but yeah, I think we'll be okay. I think we're heading in the right direction. Maybe next year.
Thank you so much. Someone said the famous South African phrase is next time. Next time. Thank you, Dylan. Tasman, over to you. Obviously, beating Australia in the semi-final was a huge achievement. First time this team has beaten Australia in a World Cup tournament, particularly in the knockout stage as well. Just take us through how that was and how important you think it was for the progression of this team.
Yeah, we always used to say Australia is the big hurdle, as Wolfie's mentioned many times. It's almost as if New Zealand was the bigger hurdle at the end of the day. But yeah, I think this team did very, very well to beat Australia. I think that's definitely, like Dylan said, in the right direction. And I always did believe that this team could beat them. I never thought they were unbeatable. So it was nice that we could actually do them, and they didn't go to the final this time.
Awesome, thank you. Nonkululeko Mlaba, you became the first women's player to take 12 T20 wickets in a World Cup. Just your thoughts on your campaign, how you felt it went, and also you were part of one of the main reactions after we made the semi-final at training, while we had to train not knowing who we were going to play or we were going to make it. Just take us through how your tournament went and that feeling about when we found out that we made it through to the semis.
Hello, everyone. I think for me it was a great tournament. I can obviously feel that I'm getting better each and every tournament, and yeah, I mean, taking 12 wickets at the World Cup, obviously I always say it's not only for me but also for my teammates, because if it wasn't for them I wouldn't be taking those 12 wickets, you know, because we were all in together. They were taking catches, and yeah, so always gonna give them credit as well. But yeah, it was a great tournament for me, and I'm looking forward for the next one. Yeah.
Thank you. Just over to you, Mr. DOC. Obviously, this is, as Coach Dylan mentioned, second consecutive final. You know, stamping our authority as one of the best teams in the world in this format. What do you think the impact will be in women's cricket in South Africa, obviously with a successful national setup?
Good question. Look, the impact already, I mean, if you look at the 12 months ago, in terms of what the team actually achieved, you know, and what the team also had to go through over the last 12 months, you know, to still have the belief that they actually built over the last 12 months, you know, going into this World Cup. I mean, it's been a great example, you know, to a lot of teams, sporting teams, you know, just not only in the country but continentally and globally as well. And just the attitude that they took into, you know, this campaign, you know, was fantastic. And there's no doubt that from a national setup point of view, it will have a huge impact, and it will continue to, to grow the game, create that awareness, and hopefully, you know, we see more girls, obviously through schools and clubs and, you know, and hubs and all different systems, you know, pulling in and hopefully, you know, from our side, obviously we'll continue to try and close the gaps in different transitions stages, you know, from a Cricket South Africa point of view, and you know, we want this team to win the World Cup, you know, and we can feel that it's actually around the corner. So yeah, so the impact that to continue to have it will continue to be huge, you know, and always gotta, we have to thank, you know, obviously the management, the players, the team, ESCO, the board, the MC, everybody else, our fans that have really been behind this team through thick and thin, especially going to this World Cup, and we'll give them the support that is required, you know, for them to get over the line. But super proud of what they've actually achieved, you know, in this tournament and also leading up to it.
Awesome, thank you. Tasman, I'll just move back to you. You are one of 3 Proteas women players to be named in the ICC team of the tournament. Yourself, Nonkululeko Mlaba, as well as Laura Vofat, who couldn't be here. Just your thoughts on, obviously, you know, having your contributions recognized in this team, and just thoughts on you and your teammates as well being on that list.
Yeah, so I didn't think I would, of course, be doing it again at the previous World Cup. But at the end of the day, it's great to have that recognition, and I'm very proud of Lefty. I mean, Wolf is almost a given with her talent that she has. Very proud of Lefty, but yeah, I would exchange that any day to rather win the trophy at the end of the day, because it almost feels like it went, you know, to waste, to be honest. It wasn't as great. I mean, you'd rather be in the top 5 and actually have the trophy, you know, but yeah, it's good.
Awesome, thank you. Coach Dylan, there was an individual that really put up a hand in the semi-final against Australia. with her tough tournament that she had in the lead up to that. Annika Bosch obviously rocking a 70-odd in 40-odd balls. You must be proud as a coach to have different players put up their hand in different situations, particularly in the bigger stage.
Yes, she had an unbelievable knock. We saw that in Pakistan, and I think there was one or two games, sorry for saying, but it looked like she was struggling a bit. And luckily we had our barefoot poet, where is he? That kept everyone going. So yeah, proud of her.
Awesome, thank you so much. Lefty, I'm just going to ask you, go back to that training session that we had before we knew that we made the semi-final, playing Australia. There was a lot of confusion around the net run rate. Can you just take us through your understanding of what was happening and your disbelief when ICC was saying we are through, but you still didn't believe it?
Yeah, honestly, that day, I felt like I was dying. My body, I'm trying to bowl, but my head is somewhere else. I'm trying to figure out this net run rate thing, because in my head I'm thinking, if West Indies win, then we out. But I'm like, no ways. But if England lose, then we out again. And I'm like, what's happening? And as soon as I finished bowling, I'm sitting there. Oh, I went to you later to watch the game. And then you were busy on your phone because you had to attend some things. And I'm like, what's happening? Are we through or what's going on? And then this other guy from ICC came and said, we must relax. And I'm like, relax? Why? Why must I relax? Because it was just a lot going on. And as soon as I heard that we threw because of the net run rate thing, I was very happy, honestly. Yeah. It was.
Awesome stuff. Mr. Richards, if I may come to you, please. Obviously, you were here back home. You experienced the support that the team had from back home. Can you just take us through what it was like for you as the CSA president to feel the support of the women's team all the way that is playing in Dubai?
I always said, and I'll repeat a couple of words I said the last thing is, I don't think the team even actually realized the impact they have, not only on cricket, not only on women's sport, but in the whole country. I serve on the SASCOC as a representative there, and when you see the comments, and if I'm going to share it with the team, I think it will keep them too busy. But the positiveness that you bring to the country and to all sports, I don't think you should actually imagine that. I told you that the last time we were in this room, the world that you woke up the day before the first time reaching this was a different situation. I'm sure that everybody's now starting to experience that. And I think Dylan and the DOC had spoken about breaking those ceilings and winning against Australia, what it means. It just shows you that with a little bit of self-belief and a little bit of more backing, I think you haven't achieved as much as you are going to. Start believing and you will achieve a lot more. Because I can tell you the whole country is 100% behind you and are very, very proud of you. If you had seen the minister before you actually walked out there, was an experience because that's what it means to this country.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Richards. I think that brings us to the end of the panel discussion. Now we have the floor open for any media questions before we have closing remarks, and then we move on to the one-on-ones. Can I please see hands? We've got mics about to roam. Anyone who's keen to take the first one? Put it. Yes. Hi, Kirsty.
1, 2.
Yeah, it's on.
Khotoselo from Newsroom Africa. Just a quick one to Nonkululeko. Being a lefty and having Paul Adams, who's a former lefty himself, how much of an impact did he have on your improvement and you taking all those wickets on those turning surfaces?
Honestly, Paul being around just made things easier for me, especially of the guy that he is. He's very calm vibe and we get along. As much as we do talk about cricket, but we just tend to not talk more of cricket. So that also made things much easier for me as well. And we've been working. He fixed a lot of things that I wasn't aware of. And yeah, we still have a long journey, and we're still gonna work. Yeah.
Start off at the back and then, yeah.
Kate Nokwakai FM. I don't know if this is on. Okay, now it is. Tasman, you are no stranger to disappointments in your sporting career, but how much does this one hurt?
No, I think this one definitely ranks the top. Like I said, because we beat Australia, I didn't for 1 minute doubt that this team couldn't beat New Zealand. I just unfortunately wasn't our day. But yeah, I don't think anything beats this. This is a very bitter pill to swallow.
Thank you, gentleman at the back.
Morana Mutupi from ENCA. To the DOC, what from an administrative perspective becomes the way forward now? Because we've mentioned time and time again that the professionalization has helped with getting the Proteas women where they are today, but lessons learned to take forward, because we've got India now next year that we need to worry about. What becomes the lessons from an administrative point of view? Because we know the ladies know what they need to do, to get that World Cup. What do you guys need to do?
Yeah, look, we're gonna obviously do our own internal review with the team. Obviously trying to identify areas that we can do better, both on and off the field. And then yes, it is a short turnaround in terms of the moving from one World Cup to another. So we don't have a lot of time. So that is something that is going to be happening and very, very soon, and identify areas that, from an administrative point of view, we can actually even support the team better. So those are areas that we are going to be identifying, and then from a team point of view, obviously also do the same sort of process, because we want to make sure by the time we hit England, that our plans are very clear going into next year's Cricket World Cup in India. So the great thing is that the team has been exposed to those sort of conditions, leading up to the T20 World Cup. So there's going to be quite a lot that that is going to be coming out, that we're going to make sure that we put in place, and we give ourselves the best chance of actually winning the World Cup next year.
Tasman, Kevin McCullum, is there a sense that the semi-final against Australia was almost your final? And how much did that semi-final take out of you in terms of concentration and physical effort and your focus?
Yeah, I mean, there's kind of revenge. I know a lot of people, when the question was asked in the team room, do we see it as revenge? I mean, Bakes asked that. A lot of people said no, but in my head I was like, I think this is revenge. The Aussies are the best in everything, so I think we had a clear plan of what we wanted to do to them, and we didn't just lightly walk over them. I mean, like Annika's massive performance there, we basically beat them in the 17th over, if I'm not mistaken. So that was a massive leap. I wouldn't say it took concentration away. I would also not say that we thought New Zealand was going to be a walkover. The belief was still there. If not, the belief was actually more because we already overcame that hurdle. I just think, stick to basics. Some things just didn't go our way at the end of the day.
Thank you. Next taker. Gentleman at the back, thank you.
Wesley Gabriels from Supersport here. Coach, I don't know if you know this, but the team has become the second team to ever be unchanged throughout the whole entire World Cup. Was that sort of the plan from the beginning, to have continuity throughout the World Cup, or was there a moment in your mind where you wanted to change the team?
Yeah, no, I don't think we decided beforehand that we're going to play the same 11 throughout the World Cup. We had a meeting where we said we'll have a look later on. Conditions might change, so it's definitely not that we picked the 11 to go through the World Cup. I mean, if you look at the ladies that missed out, Mika, Tumi, Ayanda, Seshni, there we go. They were ready to play. I mean, we saw in Pakistan that they've done well. So the moment we got to Dubai, we made a call, and it was game for game. It's sometimes difficult to just change for the sake of changing. But even if you look at the bowling lineup of other teams, they had a lot of spinners that they played, and we went with a decent seam attack. It worked for us, so it's we feel sorry for the players that didn't play, but I don't think we made that call early on.
Thanks, Dylan.
A question for Enoch over here. today, the Commonwealth Games Federation announced that cricket won't be in the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. How does that affect your planning for this team for the future, and how big a disappointment is that for you as a cricket man?
Yeah, actually, I heard on the bus from airport, I think it was a team manager that mentioned it. Obviously, it is disappointing. We always want to play more cricket, more competitive cricket. But now, obviously, we need to look at the way forward in terms of what do we need to plug in. That will help us, to continue to build this team and get this team to a point where, we can actually dominate world cricket. So, it is. I can only speak obviously on South African cricket, but I can only imagine globally, and hopefully this doesn't happen again, obviously in the future down the line, because it's always important, that we play those sort of Commonwealth and Olympics and those type of tournaments. I mean, that's a little bit different to what we used to, different atmospheres and all of that. So, I mean, they experienced it last time in England, So it should have been great, but those are decisions sometimes they're completely out of our control, and we just gotta focus on what we can control and make the most out of it.
Thank you. Just last two questions before we call it. Yes, ma'am.
Nonkululeko, this one is for you. Lonwaba Nkotla, SABC Sport, G Sport as well. I just want to check, you represent girls that look like you and me, and you've managed to get to the global stage and do so well. And yet there's many that face a lot of adversities in this country. What would be your message to them?
Just do you, and just, I don't even know what to say, honestly, but just be yourself. I think that's the good thing, the best thing that I always do. I just try and be myself on each and every situation. I don't change. I'm just being me. And I don't allow the negativity to come in my head or to now break me. I just do me. I just be the girl.
Thank you. Last one. Yeah, Kate.
Lefty, maybe you again. I won't ask you about that. I mean, I have a couple of follow-ups, but you are obviously one of the standout performers in this tournament. What then have you planned for yourself? I mean, are you expecting to get the call up to those big leagues that for example, your teammates are, your Wolves in them are not here now? Is that something that you set your mind on? To be able to go to these international leagues?
I think it's everyone's dream to also represent, to play in the other leagues. But I mean, I always say when the time is right. So right now, maybe it's not my time, but I'm just gonna keep on working hard. And what's the most important thing for me is to play for my country and make my country proud. And if I do get to play for the outside leagues, well, that's a bonus for me. Yeah.
Thank you. Maybe got time for one more question if anyone is keen. Before we call it, okay, we're going to move over to the one-on-ones, but just before that, we've got lead independent director, Advocate Ncumisa Mayosi, to just do the closing remarks, and then we call it. Thank you. Yep.
Good afternoon, everybody. Mine is to thank you all for coming here today. On behalf of Cricket South Africa, the board, the Members' Council, I'd like to extend our heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you for joining us today. Your presence and your engagement has been invaluable in welcoming home our team and sharing our vision for continued excellence. For me and for many others, the amazing thing about this team that we're welcoming here today is that they have inspired a whole generation of girls and young women to not only dare to dream to play cricket, but to do so at an elite level. And they've done so with the courage that many South Africans have come to expect of teams and individuals who compete internationally for South Africa. So in future, every time a young woman plays cricket at an elite level, you must know that they will be standing on your shoulders and they will be walking a path that was paved by you against all odds. And that's no small thing. Thank you for that. So we look forward to your continued support of those present, the continued support of our collaborators, our stakeholders, and of course, further collaboration in making the whole system of cricket work. So thank you once again, and safe travels to everybody.
Thank you so much. That brings us to the end of today's formalities. The players will hang around just for any picture opportunities and then also the one-on-one requests. Everyone else, the catering team is almost ready for everyone to start eating and just mingling, but you can just make your way outside if there's no one-on-ones for you. Thank you so much for everyone here on stage, and we'll see you at the next World Cup final. Thank you.
I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars, I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can